What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another bodybuilding news video. And today we're discussing why was Iris Kyle not on stage at the 2020 Ms Olympia. Roelly Winklaar, we get an update on his health and how he was actually looking just weeks before that Olympia. Also, Mr Olympia competitor updates under 24 hours out, including one from our current Mr Olympia, and also which celebrity has landed in Orlando for the 2020 Mr Olympia. So let's kick it off and start with Iris Kyle. So this was Iris's big comeback show. She'd won 10 Miss Olympias prior, and this was her comeback to the stage. And it'd been several years. She's obviously prepping and hoping to come back and win her 11th title. And I'm assuming she got incentivized to actually come back for the comeback of women's bodybuilding, because this is the first time it had actually been on in about 7 years, I believe it has been. And she didn't show up on stage, but she also wasn't on stage at the press conference as well, which I found to be a little bit strange considering she's such a big name. Even if she wasn't going to win the 2020 Miss Olympia, it would have been good to actually see her at the press conference and hear something from her. So I don't know if she's been sick, maybe she had COVID, who actually knows what happened. If you do know what happened to Iris Kyle and you actually do have a credible source or anything like that, you can either DM me at Desktop Bodybuilding on Instagram, or you can leave it in comments below and let me know that you actually know the facts or whatever. So yeah, just let me know on that, because it'd be interesting to see what actually happened to Iris Kyle, and I hope she's all right. Her partner, Hidetari Yamagi, she was on stage in the 212s, so that gives me some confidence that she's not, insanely unwell or anything like that. But yeah, fingers crossed for Iris, and who knows what reason it actually was that she's not on stage at the 2020 Miss Olympia. And next story is on Roelly Winklaar, the man that sadly missed out due to COVID on the 2020 Mr Olympia. And it looked like he's in pretty damn good conditioning, and could he have actually won that 2020 Olympia? So he posted up this photo, and it says December 8th, 2020, days before the unexpected turn of events. Update on my health. As of yesterday, more symptoms have presented, and our main focus remains on a full recovery. I'm not taking this lightly, and I'm giving my body the much needed rest it's been demanding to fight this COVID-19. I'm humbled by the outpouring of love and support I've received in the past couple of days, and I wish to thank each and every one of the messages, calls, and prayers sent my way. So that's a classy message there by Roelly, and I really hope he does recover fully, because at the end of a contest prep, for anyone who's actually done it, your body is not at its most... your body's not at its most healthy point in time. You're depleted, you're low on energy, you don't have much fat stores, so your body, you really can't fight off a lot, especially if you can't eat much as well. I don't know what the situation is with COVID, if you have loss of appetite or anything like that, but yeah, just prayers for Roelly Winklaar. Hope he gets better, and hope 2021 is the best year for Roelly so far. So we have a few Mr Olympia competitor updates from just 24 hours or less out. So this one here from Antoine Vaillant, this was posted by Dorian Hamilton on his story, at least that's where I saw it first, and he's looking freaky. I think he looks absolutely sensational, and they've really figured out the formula for Antoine as well, because he did come into that New York Pro, I think it was, and he came 7th, and he's really not full enough, and it really, I suppose, accentuated his weaker points, which was his back and his upper body in comparison to his legs, and really just made that upper body look a lot flatter. Came in a week or two later and won that Cali Pro where he qualified for the Olympia, and I think he's actually going to do some damage. I mean, I think I predicted him 10th or 11th. I'm sort of regretting that now, and maybe I should have predicted him 8th or 9th, because he's looking really damn good. So I'm excited to see what he does, not only in the 2020 Mr Olympia, but also what he does in the future as well. So we've got a few updates from Regan Grimes as well, as you can see on the screen right now. So Regan Grimes obviously is just an absolute social media sensation. He's got great lines and a great physique, and I believe he's only 27 years of age. Also coached by Dorian Hamilton. One of them was sent to me, and one of them he actually tagged me on his story as well, which is how he actually tagged me in on his story as well, so that's how I actually saw it. And Regan's looking pretty damn good, but I don't know if it will be enough to really crack a top placing at this 2020 Mr Olympia. I'd love to say it is, but the fact that Regan's top, 15, 16 in the world right now at 27 years old is pretty damn incredible. So regardless of where Regan places at this Olympia, I think in future years, like next year, I think he can crack a top 10. Then he can slowly progress from there, and I think that's the right way to do it. And I think that's a smart way to do it, because you see some guys, they try to add too much muscle too quick, and they just totally ruin their physique and their lines. They blow out their midsection, they do, they shoot up too many muscles, and it just doesn't look right. And they, sometimes they can hurt nerve endings and things like that. So I think Regan's doing it the right way, nice and slowly. Hopefully he makes some good gains in 2021 and can come back and do the Olympia again, which, will only really be 9 months away if it does go back to September, depending what happens, obviously, with COVID and all that sort of stuff. And I think that would be the wise move for Regan. So our last physique update of this video is a rare one. It's from your 2019 Mr Olympia Brandon Curry. Now, this was posted up by Chris Williams or Chris.Streamline on Instagram. It was shared to Brandon Curry's story. That's how I initially saw it and actually found out about this physique update. And I thought, surely this isn't recent. Just because you rarely see a physique update the day of a show from a Mr Olympia. And really, Brandon isn't posing or anything in this photo, so you're not seeing the lines come out or anything like that. But you can really see, I suppose, I wouldn't say even shoulder to waist. I would say the lat hang to the waist ratio is absolutely ridiculous. And I just can't wait to see what it looks like on stage if he's got this level of conditioning that Brandon needs to win that 2020 Mr Olympia, because it looks like Brandon's put on the size. I mean, the size doesn't look to be an issue. From what we've seen from the photos, the conditioning looks pretty damn good as well. So I'm hoping that those two come together and we see an all-time best Brandon Curry, and maybe we'll see a dynasty from Brandon Curry, who knows, and that would, maybe essentially retire Phil Heath. Or do you reckon Phil Heath would come back for another shot if he actually does beat Phil Heath in this 2020 Olympia and backs up his 2019 win? So the reason why Chris Williams actually posted this photo of Brandon Curry up today is because he's a Nuix consultant. So Nuix is one of these electrostimulation devices, and you see a lot of pros using them these days. Dexter Jackson famously used it for this prep, on every body part. He's working with Brad Rowe using that. I don't know if he has a Nuix machine or if it's a newbie machine or what it actually is, but I'm assuming this is meant to, help on the day of a show and meant to, maybe help more nutrients get into the muscle. I'm not too sure on the actual mechanism and how it works on the day of a show, but you can see he worked with other pros as well. Today he worked with Ahmed Ashkanani, he worked with David Henry, and maybe a few others as well. So what do you guys think of this update from Brandon Curry the day of the show? Do you think he looks maybe a little bit too smooth in this photo, or is it just because he's not flexing whatsoever? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And let me know what you think if you know anything that happened with Iris Kyle or anything like that, and what you think of Antoine Vaillant and how he'll do in the 2020 Mr Olympia as well. Also, I want to mention Shaq is the celebrity that has landed in Orlando, and he's the Mr Olympia ambassador. And I'm interested to see what sort of role he plays, at least this year, while he's at the Olympia, because we know Shaq's a DJ. I would love to see him like DJ some songs or something to the Mr Olympia pose down or something like that. That'd be awesome. Or at least if we see him up on stage and doing a bit of a talk and whatnot as well, because Rox Shabazz, who's actually his trainer, is a former IFBB pro. I suppose he's still an IFBB pro, but he just doesn't compete anymore now. So let me know your thoughts on all the topics featured in this video today. And if you don't want to miss any of my 2020 Mr Olympia coverage, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, and also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding. And let's try to get 1 million views in 48 hours. I've never gone close to it before, but that's sort of my goal from now until the end of the year. So that's it from me. For Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.